driver's seat. They lead this series now 3-2. The final score here tonight at Ball Arena, Denver 112, Minnesota 97.
We took time to really own why we were down 0-2, and then obviously we've won 3 games in a row, and we know that closeout game is always the hardest game in any series, and we just have to weather the storm and continue to play championship level basketball.
It's nice to be able to say we've been in this position before, now that we're finally up, so looking to end it at their place, when we get there.
Hamas and Rafah and potentially kill Palestinian civilians. 2 Republicans hope to replace Democrats in the Senate.
Well, I'm not going to D.C. to just go up there and be part of the party.
Instead, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice says after his Republican primary win,
I'm going there to shake up the world.
He'll face Democrat Glenn Elliott, trying to replace retiring Senator Joe Manchin. In Maryland, former Governor Larry Hogan won the Republican primary, also hoping to flip a blue seat red and replace retiring Democratic Senator Ben Cardin. Hogan will face Angela Also Brooks, who defeated Congressman David Trone, who spent $60 million but lost the Democratic Senate primary. Former President Trump easily won primaries in 3 states. So did President Biden, who apparently doesn't believe recent polls showing big Trump leads in several battleground states.
His top pollster says that he shouldn't. Jeffrey Pollack dismissed that New York Times Philly Inquirer poll that showed Donald Trump holds 23% support among black voters and trails Biden by only a couple points with Hispanics. However, Biden's pollster did admit that their own internal data consistently shows that the president needs to do better with black, Hispanic, and young voters.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. It is an off day at former President Trump's criminal trial. Testimony resumes tomorrow. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
More turbulence for Boeing, which is already dealing with safety investigations probing airplane manufacturing after recent Boeing incidents like a door plug blowout during a flight in January.
Prosecutors with the Department of Justice say Boeing didn't hold up its end of the deal reached to avoid criminal prosecution after 2 deadly crashes involving its 737 MAX aircraft, and charges could be forthcoming. The crashes involved new 737 MAX jets in 2018 in Indonesia and 2019 in Ethiopia, killing 346 people. Boeing's $2.5 million settlement with the DOJ kept the company from being prosecuted on a single charge of fraud for misleading federal regulators who approved the plane's use. The DOJ says Boeing did not make promised changes to detect and prevent violations of federal anti-fraud laws. Boeing maintains it has honored the terms of the agreement. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Later this hour, an inflation update. We'll find out how much consumer prices rose last month after a bigger than expected wholesale price increase in April. Wall Street's waiting on that, so stock futures are barely budging. In the NBA playoffs.
Oh, Brunson! Are you kidding? Jalen Brunson!
On TNT, Jalen Brunson bounced back from his worst game this postseason when he scored only 18 points in the Knicks' 32-point defeat in Game 4 Sunday in Indianapolis. Tuesday at Madison Square Garden, Brunson burned the Pacers for 44 points, his 5th 40-point game of these playoffs. The Knicks scored a 3-2 lead of the series with a 121-91 blowout win. After Nikola Jokic received the NBA MVP award for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, the Denver Nuggets center went out and led his team to a 112-97 win over the Timberwolves in Denver. Jokic had 40 points on 15 of 22 shooting. Game 6 in Minnesota tomorrow. Denver up 3-2.
Fox's Jared Max. Caitlin Clark made her pro debut in the WNBA, scoring 20 points, but her team Indiana lost to Connecticut. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. It's graduation season, but for graduates of the Champaign County Drug Court, it's not about getting a diploma, it's about getting a new chance at life. The Champaign County Drug Program's been changing lives since the 90s. Champaign Circuit Court Judge Ben Dyers is guiding participants through the 2-year program. Participants go through different classes and see counselors daily to get the help they need. Just 1 week after a slight rise in gas prices at Champaign gas stations, the price of gas back where it was 2 weeks ago. A survey from Gas Buddy shows that in the week between April 30th and May 6th, the price of gas rose in Champaign by an average of 3.2 cents. In the week since, the price fell by 3.2 cents. 73% of Illinois Medicaid customers will remain eligible for coverage, Governor told reporters in Chicago. He's committed to keeping people on Medicaid after COVID-19 pandemic protections. Over the past year, roughly 3.8 million Illinoisans went through Medicaid care redetermination for the first time since March of 2020. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Good morning. Okay, here we go. How you doing, Stevie?
Diane, I'm fine. It's good to have you listening. I'm live from the Tempe, Phoenix, Arizona area where it is 5:06. Lots to talk about this morning. ESPN 93.5 with our weather. Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that it's Stroke Awareness Month, and they have something to remember called Be Fast. Balance lost, eyes blurred, face drooping, arms weak, slurred speech, and terrible headache. If you experience those symptoms, call 911 or learn more at Carl/stroke. Greg Solier, are you there?
I am here, and hope you guys are there. And I think we have to hit that aux line. By the way, I've got a bunch of conversation in my head here.
I'm so sorry. I think that's this one. And Stevie, are you good? Okay, go ahead, Greg.
Okay, all right, very good. Yeah, we'll work on this. In any event, hey, Phoenix at 76 degrees. Good morning there, Mr. J, out there at Sky Harbor Airport. Nice, mild, warm morning as you would expect in the desert Southwest for a May 15th. And we still have one little piece of this Ohio Valley low making its way up across parts of Indiana, right along the Illinois-Indiana line. They've had some pretty healthy rains the past 24 hours and some ponding in some of the fields around the Indianapolis area. So heads up on that, where the really corridor of rain is falling this morning. And a couple of showers to about Danville up to Rensselaer on that I-65 corridor and Wabash River Valley area as well. 57 now, though, over at Willett in Savoy with a north wind and still this low overcast. Some areas of fog along the Illinois-Indiana line. 56 at Rantoul. Ought to be a better day's worth of weather today. Any shower activity is probably going to stay off to the east of us, both this morning and this afternoon. Some patchy fog as well off to the east for the next few hours. North wind, drier air, and a partly sunny sky. Should get an afternoon reading up to about 73. We'll bottom out tonight at 53, so a little bit cooler tonight. But a nice day's worth of weather tomorrow, at least through mid-afternoon. And once again, not only Plain States weather systems coming our way, a little weaker system, lesser moisture to work with, but still there's some shower activity in the forecast mid to late afternoon, the high at 76. A couple of showers early tomorrow night with a low down to 62, and one of these early to mid-morning, late afternoon shower thunderstorm chances on Friday, dry hours and a high near 75. We get to about 2.5, maybe almost 3 days of dry weather over the weekend into maybe late Monday, and warm weather. That'll help on the fields and the backyard as well. Highs up near 80 Saturday and Sunday, 82 on Monday, warm into Tuesday and Wednesday next week with low to mid-80s, but we're still chasing a couple of showers, thunderstorms around for early next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Okay, Stevie, I'm hoping you're there. Okay, so maybe I pressed the wrong button. Okay, Stevie, I pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're here. Good morning. I'm live near Phoenix, Arizona. In fact, we're staying in Tempe, as a matter of fact. We're going to talk to Special Agent in Charge, former Special Agent in Charge, Chuck Marino, here coming up here in a moment. I love talking to the former Secret Service guys. Coming up in a moment, so much to share. So much has happened in the last 24 hours. It's been a real whirlwind after our son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, made the Cincinnati Reds roster and was activated and got to start in left field last night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments. You got to go. It's just one of those, you make a major league debut, you got to be there. And it was just unbelievable. It's just, the life of this major league thing is pretty good. So we really got to go behind the curtains of how this works and what it means to be a Major League Baseball player on a Major League team. It's pretty unbelievable. So I'll share a lot of these little stories and anecdotes. But what we did last night was so fun. It's so exciting, so electric.
Awesome. Chuck's ready to go.
Chuck Marino, how are you, sir?
Good. Good morning. Congratulations.
Well, it's just one of those moments in life where,
wow.
My son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, plays for the Cincinnati Reds, and he came from West Point, Chuck. He actually graduated West Point, and Donald Trump was asked by one of the service academies. They said, "Hey, Mr. President, if we can get a pro contract, why can't we play first and serve later?" And he made that the law, and Jacob got a contract with the Cincinnati Reds, started in Class A, went to AA, AAA, and here we are in Tempe, Arizona, after the Reds beat the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. But get to ride on the bus with the players, it's so cool. I couldn't believe it.
You're like a
really
kid
fun.
again.
I'm like a kid again. It's just, I think every little boy dreams of playing in the big leagues. Chuck, you've done a lot of great work for your country, former Secret Service agent in charge. Well, here we are in 2024. It appears the Democrats are trying to bring the let's fix the border, which is all political. The president can do stuff to fix the border today, Chuck. Give me a read on all this going on right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. The president can take action. He can restore all those executive orders that he stood down his first 100 days in office that were working under the former Trump administration, that agents within CBP and ICE told him were working during the transition, and which he chose to ignore for political purposes. And look, I mean, there's no secrets here. Americans are sick and tired of being told by this administration that they're not seeing what they're seeing and experiencing what they're experiencing now in their hometowns, no matter where they are in the U.S., because the border crisis has made its way to them. And what the Senate is trying to do, a la Chuck Schumer, is bring this up because it's now the number one issue in the country. But it does not take a bill to solve what the president broke.
Chuck, it's like there are 15 holes in the boat and you're worried about the steering and the engine doesn't. This thing is, the reason this is falling apart is there's not one area that he can stand by and say, I did a good job on this. And people go to the grocery store every day. If they buy any meat, it's a $150 bill. And I just don't think when the economy is like that and inflation is like that, and you got people spending, it's all about the wallet and it's all about the economy and not to mention the border and the crime and all these things that are going south. It's not good. And I still don't think it'll be Joe Biden. The only chance the Democrats have is if he steps down and they get all fired up about somebody else.
Yeah, and I think it's quite honestly even too late for Democrats on that side. But you're right. You've got all of these issues morphing together, like the economy and the border and immigration and crime and terrorism. Look, because of these border policies, our threat level is 10 times higher now than it was pre-9/11 in the United States. That's unacceptable. And Americans have been having to pay the price for his poor decisions on the border. They've had to pay the price with their lives in many cases via fentanyl poisoning or criminal aliens being allowed into the country to commit more violent crimes. And also they're paying with their taxes financially billions and billions of dollars in recent reporting going to non-governmental organizations who have received over $2 billion and filled right with waste, fraud, and abuse.
Yeah, I don't know what you would tell if the White House called you and they said, help Joe Biden. What would you advise him at this point?
Enforce the law. The laws are on the books. His administration is unprecedented because border security and immigration enforcement, we may have had disagreements with how Democrats and Republicans did it in the past, but it was never a partisan issue where they completely walked away from it. They always recognized that these were two primary essential pillars of protecting our homeland. That's why these functions were absorbed under the Department of Homeland Security after the attacks of 9/11. So it really makes no sense. It undercuts the efforts of all these agencies that are out there trying to do the work to protect the American public. But look, Democrats want more voters in the country, don't they? And that's what this came down to, politics over national security.
Well, what is the point to allowing anarchy and lack of security and people feeling unsafe? Why is that a win for America? Why would that earn you votes? People, there are so many people that are afraid to walk the streets. You have to look around all the time. This is ridiculous, and it's going to be here for a while because so many people that are here that shouldn't be. I don't know the why behind destruction of America.
Yeah, look, they've decided that is an acceptable risk and cost for them, and they couldn't be more wrong. And I think they're going to find out how wrong they've been on this issue come the election. I've got my new book just came out yesterday, Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country, and it covers just how susceptible we've become under this administration. The country's been infiltrated by criminals, by terrorists. We know this. We know the encounters on the terrorist watch list are going up. We know terrorists on that list have been let into the country.
Unbelievable. Chuck Marino wrote a book, former Secret Service Special Agent in charge, Terrorists on the Border. Was it available where, Chuck?
It's available on Amazon and in all major bookstores.
Well, that's exciting, and we're going to really believe what you say. You've been on the inside. You know how this thing works. So thanks for making me feel safer this morning, Chuck. Good golly.
Well, thank you, and congratulations again.
Thanks again, Chuck, for being on. Always a pleasure. Thanks for your service to your country.
Anytime. Thank you.
You bet. ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie Jay. We jump to morning sports to have that cover coming up. Brother Johnny and Ed Martin coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll do that. Check your morning sports. St. Louis Cardinals got a win on the coast again out here. They were in Los Angeles, the Anaheim Angels. Anaheim Angels, I think they beat last night.
Yep, so 7-6 was the final, and let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night, the Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead for Sonny Gray, only to have the Angels fight back to tie it up. And Alec Burleson hit a 2-run homer. That stood up as the Cardinals beat the Angels 7-6 to win their third straight game.
A huge hit early on for Pedro Pajes, who caught the game, and it was his first major league hit. He drove in 3 runs with it, and that gave the Cardinals an early lead. The Angels fought back, but the Cardinals were able to finish him off. Ryan Helsley picked up save number 13.
Jojo Romero was faced with a bases-loaded situation and 1 out, and Luis Guillorme missed on a suicide squeeze, only to have the runner breaking to the plate tagged out.
Second time during the homestand for the Angels that a squeeze play did not work and cost them, and that was a big play in the game. That came in the 8th.
The Cardinals go for the sweep tonight behind Lance Lynn. He's 1-1. Griffin Canning, a right-hander, is 1-4. On the air at 7:10 Central. Ricky has the lineups at 7:55. I'll have the first pitch around 7:08 Central Time. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
UC Brank is bringing us our forecast from Greg Solier.
Well, we get everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Last little spoke of energy rotating around this Ohio Valley low, generating a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line and points eastward. That'll be the story for this morning and perhaps again this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, good majority of the day, and area will be dry. Highs up to about 73 with a gusty north-northeasterly wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, patchy fog late, down to 53. Light northeast wind. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on. Increasing clouds and a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. Highs at 76. Couple of showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow night with a low down to 62. Variably cloudy skies for the day on Friday with again a couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon up to 75. Dry weather for the weekend. Highs near 80. Back into again a scattering of shower and thunderstorm activity between later Monday and Tuesday. Dry next Wednesday and a warm spell of weather ahead into the early to middle parts of next week. Daytime temperatures into the lower and middle 80s. Overnight readings will bottom out into the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to the latest inflation update, the Consumer Price Index for April, and also April's retail sales numbers. The meme stocks are rallying again this morning. Both GameStop and AMC shares are up about 10% on top of Tuesday's rallies. The rally was triggered by social media user Roaring Kitty, an account associated with trader Keith Gill, though Gill has been inactive for almost 2 years. Walmart could lose its title as America's biggest retailer by revenue to Amazon. The Wall Street Journal says last year Walmart sales were $648 billion. Amazon is up to $575 billion and is seeing 12% growth. It's taking on Walmart with faster shipping and a bigger product selection. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown starting May 20th at foxbusinesspodcasts.com, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Jesse with Lands Underground Solutions. When it comes to your septic system, trust the team at Lands Underground Solutions. Our septic specialists have been working in the septic industry, installing and repairing septics in Central Illinois for over 40 years. When it comes to your septic system, trust the team at Lands Underground for repairs, maintenance, or replacement of your septic. Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Dedicated diesel and Dixie chopper and drivers and stuff. You guys got any needs? Got anything to share?
Well, for drivers, right now there are a lot of trucking companies that are either shutting down or laying off drivers.
Wow.
We are not doing that. We have freight coming out our ears, and we have a couple of openings for regional and over-the-road van and flatbed drivers. They're home every weekend. We've got a family environment. You know, we think about family as well as the work. So we're looking for a couple of drivers to bring on for that.
Awesome.
So what is the location and website?
That is 1306 Triumph Drive in Urbana. It's right down from Farm and Fleet on 45.
Yep.
And you can call Andy at 217-328-0562 or check out Dedicated Diesel on Facebook.
ESPN 93.5, good morning. I'm Stevie Jay coming to you live from Tempe, Arizona this morning, where it is 5:22 a.m. The sun's coming up out here. It's going to be 97 degrees in the greater Phoenix area. Oh, so you know what? I was all worried it's going to be 97 degrees watching the noontime baseball game today, and then we're going to come right home tonight. But it's inside. I didn't know they had air conditioning inside baseball in Arizona.
Yeah, I guess in Arizona.
Yeah, you better. So it was just such an exciting whirlwind over the last 48 hours when Jacob got the call that the Reds needed him in Phoenix for this series, and TJ Friedel, their starting center fielder, had gone down with a broken thumb when a baseball hit him at first pitch of the Giants game the other night. So he was called up and rushed out to Phoenix and got the pinch run 2 nights ago, got to start in left field last night. He got 2 at-bats before they put him in for a right-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher in the 5th inning. and hit the ball well both times. He made 2 outs, but boy, the first time thought it might get down for a tweener, might have been a double or triple, but he had two good at bats. And just to see how it works behind the curtains of big league baseball there's a reason, Diane, they call it the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unbelievable. So we get on the Southwest Airlines nonstop flight from Indianapolis to Phoenix yesterday. As I'm leaving town, Christian had said, "Dad, there's just too much going on. I can't get out." And then he heard that Jacob was starting. So then I call him as I'm driving on 74, about to leave the University Avenue exit, past that exit. And I just turned in and went off the exit. And I said, "Christian, are you sure?" And he said, "All right, come pick me up." So he just jumped in the car with us. Rode to Indianapolis, pretty rainy drive over there. And then the plane was on time. The plane landed early in Phoenix. We had a friend pick us up, take us down to the ballpark. And there, the Cincinnati Reds are waiting to take our luggage. We got to go kind of through some special things so that, you can get in quicker and all these other things. The seats were unbelievable. I mean, we were right behind the dugout, row 30, I guess, right behind the Reds dugout. And just to see Jacob out there warming up and guys are hugging him, and they've really been welcoming him to the big leagues was pretty special and pretty awesome. And then to be with Lisa and Francois Hurtubise, his parents, it's just one of those life moments where you're going, man, I know the odds of getting a chance to play in big league baseball are between slim and none. It's very, very difficult. So he had that opportunity. We all enjoyed in it. We got to go down after the ball game. The Reds won, by the way, and they've been really struggling. They won 6-2. We got to go on the field. Got to go down, not take that back. We got to go down through the gate on the dirt part, but we still weren't allowed to touch the grass. So,
okay.
It's just one of those things where they don't let you anywhere. But Jacob was out there, and he had a whole bunch of pictures of his family, and we shared in that moment. Then we go in kind of the back door. Again, security's everywhere. But we have the designations, and they know we're with Jacob Hurtubise. And so they walk us kind of down the back and through the bowels of the, Arizona Diamondback Stadium, Chase Field, they call it. And so here comes Jacob, and, I said, "Is the snacks good?" And he had a whole plate full of, steak and salmon and just the nicest. And the guys are starting to file out of the locker room, and their wives are waiting for them. And, it's just pretty cool. Then there's a bus ride. They have a family bus, and then they have the players bus. And we were on the bus that had quite a few players on it as well. And then we got to come to the hotel where the players are staying, and we spent the night here. And it's, incredible just to kind of get inside behind the scenes of everything, and all the people it takes kind of to manage stuff of this person's role and this person's role, and all to get a baseball game on for all of us to enjoy. But just to kind of be behind the scenes and watch the guys get on the bus and the stuff that, they're just guys,
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, the routine is pretty much the same as AAA, Jacob said, where the schedule of the game and the routine and the buses and things like that. But now, after today's noontime game, they'll bus them right out to the airport, and they'll be on their Cincinnati Reds charter jet. And then they'll fly to Los Angeles. Grace is going to go to the airport with us. She's going to fly to Los Angeles, commercial, and catch up. But she, as a wife, is allowed to stay with Jacob, and there's no sharing rooms anymore. That was in the minor leagues. This is the major leagues. So you have a beautiful room and room service, and
Nice.
it's just really the show. It really, really is. And there's very few people that ever get to experience that, and he's gotten to do that. I think now, after the excitement of all this, I think he kind of wants to figure out how he can stay.
Right.
So, it's going to be about playing time and opportunities, and, if he can get some hits and do a good job out in the outfield. He caught a nice ball last night. But anyway, it's exciting, and we're going to go to the 12:40 start. It's 2:40 Central, 12:40 out here in Arizona. And then we're going to the airport and coming home. I'll be home back in the morning in the studio.
Okay.
So it's been, I don't even know the time, but I know Johnny and Ed are coming up. What are we, 5:27 or something?
It's 7:29, 48,
Okay.
49, 50.
Okay, we'll break and come back. It's Brother Johnny and Ed Martin, and we got lots to talk about this morning. I'm live from Tempe, Arizona, ESPN 93.5.
Summertime is just around the corner. Sign up now for summer camps at the Urbana Park District. We have camps for all interests. Sign up for sports camp ages 6 through 12, preschool arts camp ages 3 through 5, and Camp Fresh, teens ages 12 through 15. Sign up now for a special discount. Register online at urbanaparks.org/register or call 217-365-1544. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump has said he'll debate anytime, anywhere. President Biden says, let's do it. Once next month, once in September, before any early voting starts.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal.
The president there in a video released this morning. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announces a $2 billion deal to have more weapons built and sent to Ukraine. Most of the money coming from the aid approved by Congress last month.
With Russian troops advancing in the Kharkiv border region, Ukrainian troops are pulled back under heavy fire. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who's in Ukraine, praising the country's resilience today. The first batch of weapons being sent under the $60 billion aid package is only just starting to reach the front lines.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Consumer prices 0.3 of a point higher last month. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Centennial High School seniors headed to college in the fall, and one Ivy League bound, Lindsay Aikman, has made the college application process easier on her students, and all of them have been accepted into college for the fall semester. Aikman says that STEM has played a major role in students choosing what they want to study. Memorial Health's Physician Extender of the Year award for this year given to Jenna Hoffman, certified nurse practitioner. Hoffman is a Champaign County native and graduated high school from Triad and was heavily involved in 4-H, showing dairy cattle. From Triad, Hoffman went on to get an associate degree from Clark State, her bachelor's degree from Urbana University, and her master's eventually from the University of Cincinnati. A week after a slight rise in gas prices at Champaign gas stations, the price of gas back where it was 2 weeks ago. A survey from Gas Buddy shows in the week between April 30th and May 6th, the price of gas rose in Champaign by an average of 3.2 cents. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois Champaign event and vicinity. Last little spoke of energy rotating around this Ohio Valley low, generating a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line and points eastward. That'll be the story for this morning and perhaps again this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, good majority of the day, and area will be dry. Highs up to about 73 with a gusty north-northeasterly wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, patchy fog late, down to 53. Light northeast wind. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on. Creasing clouds and a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. Highs at 76. Couple of showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow night with a low down to 62. Variably cloudy skies for the day on Friday with again a couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon up to 75. Dry weather for the weekend, highs near 80. Back into again a scattering of shower and thunderstorm activity between later Monday and Tuesday. Dry next Wednesday and a warm spell of weather ahead into the early to middle parts of next week. Daytime temperatures into the lower and middle 80s. Overnight readings will bottom out into the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Bring on spring. Get the light and delicious Greek pizza, topped with premium mozzarella, feta, new sliced Kalamata olives, diced tomatoes, mild peppers, and red onions. It's the best Detroit-style pizza around with a crispy, crunchy, cheesy crust to the edge. Hurry in and enjoy a large Greek Detroit-style pizza for $16.99. Code word Greek. Jets. Better because it has to be.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
When your pipes are in a pinch and your drains are feeling the strain, who do you call? The plumbing pros, of course. At Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, they're your reliable partners in all things plumbing. From leaky faucets to clogged drains, they can get any problem you have cleaned up and taken care of. Their licensed plumbers are on call 24/7, ready to swoop in and save the day whenever a plumbing emergency strikes. Don't let a plumbing problem ruin your day. Call at 217-841-4728 or visit them online at dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
So, I don't know where your button is, so I'm just going to hit one. Oh, yeah. Smoking in the boys' room. Always a good choice. And Stevie, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Diane. It's Brother Johnny.
Okay.
I can too.
I'm glad Eddie and Johnny have checked in. Now I press the button. Stevie should be there.
There's a lot of buttons we push in our business, Johnny and Ed. Good morning. I'm Stevie Jay. We're live outside of Phoenix, actually Tempe, Arizona, where we were enjoying the Cincinnati Reds victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And what a whirlwind it's been for us, Ed, where my son-in-law Jacob Hurtubise got called up to the major leagues. And it's been just a whirlwind, but it's also been so enlightening and just to see the process of what it means to be a Major League Baseball player. I mean, it's there's a reason, you guys, they call it the show. I mean, it is the best of the best in everything that they do. But it's been a lot of fun. Ed Martin, president of the Eagle Forum, Legal Defense Fund. Brother Johnny's down, I think, Bible study, New Orleans, Johnny?
Yes, sir.
That's a boy. We all need that more. We need more in that life. All right, let's begin with Ed Martin. Good morning, Ed. I want to ask you about the general sense of things and what's going on. Chuck Schumer's trying to revive the border war kind of issue, the border package, to say that it's the Republicans' fault. Ed, there's so much wrong going on. Can the Democrats recover from all this stuff?
Well, right now, what you're seeing is a panic setting in on the Democrat side, because if you know politics and campaigns, you're starting to get close enough to an election where you're seeing the way it's going. I mean, last night in West Virginia, a guy named Jim Justice, he's the current governor, he won the primary there, so he'll replace Manchin. So now the Senate is already that close to flipping. Last night in Maryland, Larry Hogan, who was a very popular Republican governor, kind of moderate, kind of anti-Trumper, he won his primary, and he's going to face off, and suddenly Maryland is competitive for a U.S. Senate. So the U.S. Senate is slipping away from Chuck Schumer, and everybody feels it. The problem for America is the world's not the same as it was in every other election. There's a lot of things that are different, whether it's the election integrity questions or just how fast things move. So I don't feel great about it, but that's what's happening. I mean, you're seeing more and more real panic. You know, James Carville had a couple of beers down there in Louisiana and ranted and raved about how, you know, his party is out of touch, and you're hearing, again, more and more of that. By the way, Hunter Biden goes on trial. Yesterday, there was a judge said, yeah, we're not going to delay it. In June, Hunter Biden's going to go on trial. And we're going to see something that I forgot to talk about. Donald Trump, for all his trials and tribulations, is so damn strong because normal people can't go through a trial. I've been through trials. I've been through, you know, heavy duty as a defendant. And it's exhausting. It's impossible. And now watch Hunter Biden and his dad when he goes on trial for this gun charge. It's going to be a terrible burden. So it's coming apart at the seams, and but I wish the election was tomorrow.
Yeah, listen, too, Eddie. Well, we have to point out, and everybody needs to remember, the border is open because the first couple of days Joe Biden said we're opening the border. He could say we're closing the border this afternoon. There's nothing about a bill has to be passed. He can close the border like Trump had it closed today. And that's another show you see. There's a lot of shows going on, Steve. And I agree with Ed. They're falling apart, which helps the voter integrity because it's an institution and it's not without risk. And if people who are helping deliver votes, just let's say, think that the Democrats might lose, they're in serious trouble. So there's going to be less volunteers for that on this next go-round if this collapse continues because they don't know which way is up right now.
So what are the options for the Democrats, Ed? I still think if Joe Biden read the teleprompter and said, I want to spend more time with my family, I've served my nation, I'm stepping down, just like Lyndon Johnson did in 1968 when he saw the writing on the wall. If he did that, I mean, there's always time. If you have the convention coming up, you can put somebody else in there. I don't see a way the Democrats can get any genuine enthusiasm for this election if they don't do that.
Well, look, I know you're right, but I mean, I think you put in all common sense and kind of assessments of a guy who knows communications, knows people, knows how people move in sales and politics. But the problem is, in the American electoral system at this point, the game is rigged at the highest level by the powers that be when it comes to picking the president. Again, they can write books on how Trump shattered that system. He did it because it was 100% name ID. He was a TV star. He was a funny former Democrat, all this stuff. But Joe Biden has cornered the market the way the market was built. He's got $1 billion. Joe Biden's got $1 billion for his campaign. And in a normal setting, you'd say, I got all the money, I got the office, I got the power, I'm going to run this thing out. Watch me do it. And, the last guy that they were stuck with that had such abysmal performance was a guy named Jimmy Carter. And he lost, amazingly. But he wasn't uncompetitive until he lost, if you get my point. And when you have $1 billion or $2 or $3 billion, you're gonna keep fighting and slogging away. And no one can go in that Oval Office like they did to Johnson or like they did to Nixon and say, hey, boss, it's over. Because he's going to say, you told me it was over in 88 when I was a plagiarist. You told me it was over in 2008 when I called Barack Obama one of those clean black guys. And I keep winning. Don't, get out of my office, traitor. Kai Su Technon, et tu brute. So I think they're stuck with him. And I think, wait till the rioting in Chicago. The mayor there says he's not going to stop the wildness. He's a liberal. So where is he rioting? We're going to see a losing candidate, and Trump just needs to keep his head down and be careful.
Well, and I think that the money's starting to be less of a factor, Eddie, because we know the candidates so well. People think it's more than we'd ever want to know any two candidates already. But I just don't. You got to the other side of that, Stevie. The people who are going forward with Joe Biden are the same ones who've opened the border, who scrapped the energy program, who have transgender kindergarten story hours, who think you can steal it from a store and it's okay if you really need it. They're making the decision for Joe to run. It's about what you'd expect the call for them to make. Just like Eddie said, we'll be all right. But I don't think they're all right with that guy. And so we'll see. We'll see how they manage it. But Joe's not the general consensus choice to be the president of the United States. No offense.
Well, it's Brother Johnny Ed Martin. I'm Stevie Jay, live in Tempe, Arizona with the Cincinnati Reds for a few more hours, and we'll fly home. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow. But they're on our Tapman's Towing phone line this morning, ESPN 93.5. So, Ed, please tell me and help me understand why it was the first time in the history of the United States that a sitting vice president decided to say, kick the effing door down, which really didn't even make any sense in the context he was talking about. Kamala Harris has figured out how to be less popular than the President Joe Biden. But why would you use the F word in a public setting to win votes? How does that work?
Well, listen, I told you guys, and I'm going to go back to it. She has an alcohol or drug abuse problem. I guarantee you someday we'll find out about it. I know you guys will find it hard to believe, but with my Irish ancestors looking on, blearily this early, I've had a few pops when I was a candidate, and you say stupid stuff when you're a candidate and you have a few pops, and that's what she did. So she is a race to the bottom. Look, the culture is coarse. I remember the late fellow Schlafly, someone came up to her and said, Donald Trump, how can you be for Donald Trump? Have you heard him? He's so coarse. And she had a big smile and she said, it's kind of a coarse culture. And meaning, I wish we were more genteel, all of us. I wish we were more kind and polite. But she thinks that plays in Poughkeepsie. And, it probably plays on TikTok. So, and again, who's going to tell her? She's the ultimate DEI-er. She's a black woman who is on all the issues, screeching liberal, and who's going to tell her and you tell her you're wrong, you're using F words, they're going to say you're a racial, profilist because black people use the word more than others. They'll say, I don't even know if they do. I think the Irish use it the most. She's a disaster, but again, no one's going to confront her. They're stuck with her, too.
No, she's not, I don't know, functional, but she also laughs after that like she usually does when she says something dumb, and she'll laugh. Yeah. It's pretty much predictable, and it's a shame. I don't know what to think of her. I don't think the people who are working with the president want her to be president. I don't know how they'd be able to even work with her. So she would be going off whichever direction she wanted to go. So, like I said, she's unified. 98% of us don't want her to be president.
But by the way, I renew my nomination of Dr. Ben Carson for vice president as just a contract. You look up and say, because you know what you can't, where you can't have affirmative action or DEI is if you're going to stand with your hands in the brain of an 8-month-old kid and do 22-hour neurosurgery. It's like being in the major leagues. You can make it to the Little League team because they want diversity, but you can't make it to the show unless you can hit the damn ball or throw the damn ball. And Ben Carson on a stage next to Kamala Harris, America goes, one party's lying and faking it, and the other party's trying. Let's see what we'll take. And by the way, the numbers come out in a few hours. Inflation's going to be up again. And you can talk all you want about Donald Trump's affairs. Nobody gives, around the kitchen table, nobody cares who had an affair. They care that the friggin' bread is twice as much as it was 2.5 years ago. Get inflation down, whoever's in charge, or I'm not going to vote for anything else.
Well, and I still think one of my favorite lines was when Carson said, I was the first man to remove half of a brain during surgery, but if you go to Washington, you would think somebody beat me to it.
I didn't know that.
I would be all for Ben Carson. There's no question about it. But who do you think else is in there? The governor of North Dakota, Burgum, is he up there? Is Tim Scott in the picture? Who do you think is actually in the final three?
Well, I don't really. I mean, you see him up there. Vivek Ramaswamy's running around making arguments, and I think people are impressed with, his brain, his attitude. As you point out, Governor Burgum has been up there fighting away. As I tell people, there's only about 15 or 20 people that are eligible in the sense that you have to have gone through the ringer at the highest level. I went to lunch the other day with somebody who worked for Devin Nunes back when he was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and he said the level of scrutiny that Devin Nunes went through because he was defending Trump and calling the Russia hoax was a hoax. He said it was unbelievable. We've never seen anything like it. That's what you have to have gone through. So these governors and senators, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think that you're going to see Donald Trump pick somebody that is conventional, meaning like some senator. I just don't, Senator Rubio or Senator Vance or Senator Scott. I don't think he will do that, but I don't even know. With Trump, it's impossible to guess. He's out at the trial in New York every day now. There's 5 or 6 or 7 Republican prominent elected officials. Speaker Johnson was there, Governor Burgum, Congressman Donalds from Florida. They all come now to stand and support the president. But I don't think I really can guess, to be honest.
No, I agree. We'll see what comes out. But I think in the case of Trump, it's just Trump. I don't know how much a vice president really helps the race.
Doesn't matter.
It's Ed Martin, Brother Johnny. Hey, Ed, do you think that this is really the Democrats' last chance to convict in New York? Will they get any other opportunity, or are things just going to drag through the summer and get to be too late? Is this the only conviction Donald Trump has a chance to get this year?
Yes, I mean, at this point, all the other trials are falling by the wayside, both in terms of, people think, and I mean this in the right way, the balanced way. People think that the law and trials are all sort of sometimes like sanitized and antiseptic, they fall into the rhythm of life. And there's a rhythm where nobody wants to touch how insane this is right now until at least after the election. So even the judges and prosecutors and all. So there won't be any more trials. And as to New York, I mean, if you listen closely it's impossible to see that he could be convicted of this. But I've sat in jury trials in D.C. where I thought to myself, you can't convict this guy sitting there for walking through the Capitol, and they do, right? So the jury in New York City is going to be what it is, and so I wouldn't bet either way on that. But it's the last trial, and then once it's over, Donald Trump is actually going to have to find a different way to get constant news. I don't know if you've been watching Fox News and CNN. He gets 2 or 3 national hits a day that he controls completely and talks about inflation and whatever. It's unbelievably good press that he masters. When the trial's over, he'll have to do something else.
That's called earned media, Steve. You don't pay anything for it. It's all free.
Yeah.
But Eddie, I will say, I keep hearing, well, if he's convicted, they just can't get it appealed by the election. Well, I disagree with that. This would be one of those moves to expedite because we need to have it settled. And I can't imagine they could review this in a month or two if it became the fate of the nation. So I don't think it's going to get stuck in an appeals process either.
Well, gentlemen, I'll let you go. It's Ed Martin. How can people find you, sir?
The best place right now, ProAmericaReport.com. I've been sending out my daily emails through there. So ProAmericaReport.com. And, of course, PhyllisSchlafly.com is our website. I'll tease you with this, guys. I'll have some news. I didn't know if I could talk about it today. I couldn't. I'll have some news next week about something, a part of the process I'm going to play at the Republican convention in Milwaukee in about 54 days. So I'll reveal that next Wednesday. People got to come back. Just because Stevie Jay's got a son-in-law in the show, I'm going to Milwaukee. I'm not going to put their heads.
All right.
I'll be there.
Hey. Actually, back to the show. That's at 12:30 today. The Reds play the Diamondbacks again.
All
right. Jacob Novus, is he going to play, or do you know?
He's not in the starting lineup today, so we hope he'll get a chance in some other way. He pinch ran the first night and then started last night. Maybe he'll get a pinch hit tonight, this afternoon. But it's you don't know what the card says every day. But it was pretty cool to see him trot out the left field for the first time. That's pretty neat.
Pretty fun stuff, man.
Pretty fun. Boys, thank you. Hey, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Johnny. Keep praying for us. And thank you, guys. Appreciate you both. Thank you. ESPN 93.5 on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We'll be back. We'll check Greg's weather. We also got Mr. Suderman from Good Vibes popping on the radio with us. It's a beautiful morning in Tempe, Arizona. ESPN 93.5. They're expecting a high today here of 97. We'll be right back.
House. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Do we want to do our weather with Greg? Do we want to get Mr. Solier on?
Or hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Some patchy fog and a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line in particular. They may redevelop there later on this afternoon, but a good part of the day and area, especially I-57 corridor on westward, will be partly sunny and dry with high temperature up near 73. Bit of a gusty north-northeasterly wind in open areas. Tonight, a few clouds, some patchy fog late. Lighter northeast wind sets in, a low down to 53. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on, increasing clouds. Next weather system back in with a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. afternoon. Highs up to about 76. A couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 62. And a couple of more scattered showers both morning and afternoon. Maybe a thunderstorm on Friday. Highs up to 75. But warm, dry weather ahead for the weekend with high temperatures either side of the 80-degree mark. Back into a shower thunderstorm chance late Monday into Tuesday. High temperatures there into the low and mid-80s. Humidity will climb a bit. Then still warm but drier weather. Low humidity next Wednesday and Thursday. Daytime temperatures close to 80. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Pete Olshus, Greg Solgay.
Isn't our friend Steve Suderman, you there?
I'm here, brother.
Nice to have Mr. Suderman on from Good Vibes. We've had a whirlwind couple of days with Jacob Hurtubise, my son-in-law, married Grace in the big leagues now, at least for now. It's awesome. So it's really been fun.
That's Arizona, where the flora and the fauna will sting you, stick you, bite you, or poison. But boy, the sun never quits shining there.
It's really something. It's right now, whatever time it is, 5:54 or whatever it is. I'm 2 hours behind you. Beautiful sun. It's going to be 97 in the desert. Pretty cool. All right, Mr. Suderman, all the fun stuff with electronics, big screen television, the 8-foot TV. What you talking about today here, friend?
Well, no pay of May is letting people get maybe that OLED TV instead of the more ordinary set. Maybe your tax refund's taking a little while, or your money's just mounting up in the stock market. You can leave it there and take advantage of 0%. An 85-inch Sony TV for $91 a month. That's pretty sweet. And now that 0% will also be useful as the Memorial Day specials start coming out, and that will include the 23 series closeout TVs from all the companies and the 24 model rollouts. This is model change time, so you can look at the new, look at the old. Obviously, there's hundreds of dollars of difference to buying the last year's stuff. But Sonos, Denon, Klipsch all have big-time offers this month. Some of them are end-loaded towards Memorial Day itself. Outdoor audio and video deals are abundant. Memorial Day is a big retail deal on the eastern seaboard. Here in the Midwest, I think it's more about the family cookouts and remembering the fallen. But we'll take advantage of those offers that Sony and Samsung have available for the people in New York and Virginia, because they go pretty crazy for Memorial Day for sale. So we'll be joining the fray.
Well, and people can come in, actually look around, ask questions way better than the big box stores, because you guys know how to install. You're local. It's supporting local, and it's the same darn price. It's, in fact, they might even save money with Good Vibes, and you're gonna have the guys who know how to hide the wires and really get an installation and actually be there if you have an issue after. That's the whole value in buying from Good Vibes. Well, if I come out to the store, can I get a good look at some of your big screens?
Oh, we've got them hooked up to play, and of course we've got guys like Jason and Lindy that do come to the house and make all the stuff look good, perform right, and we make house calls. So that's a big deal.
Well, it's awesome, and you guys have been at it over 50 years, and Steve Suderman hasn't missed a day of work since. Unbelievable.
Right, what's a vacation? You can run your radio remote control. That's pretty cool. That's like work from home, work from Arizona, and then work from retail.
No, it's fun. It's fun. I'm hearing some music, but it is hard to know what you got up there, Diane. Hold on. Radar Love?
Yeah, baby.
Radar Love? Come on,
One
man.
of us could hear it.
Steve Suderman, how can people connect with you?
No more speed. I'm almost there. I remember that line.
Yeah.
2010 Round Barn Road. GVibes.com on the web. You can call us at 351-0909.
Thank you, partner. Appreciate it. Steve Suderman, live from Good Vibes. I'm live from Tempe, Arizona. We're going to get the news going. We'll be back with our 8 o'clock hour. Let me see if I can find Jacob's dad to see if he's awake and see if he'll talk with us on the radio about his son making the big
Flooring
leagues.
and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Bring on spring. Get the light and delicious Greek pizza, topped with premium mozzarella, feta, new sliced Kalamata olives, diced tomatoes, mild peppers, and red onions. It's the best Detroit-style pizza around with a crispy, crunchy, cheesy crust to the edge. Hurry in and enjoy a large Greek Detroit-style pizza for $16.99. Code word Greek. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Stevie Jay here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. It's a great day ahead, and thanks for listening. We're your home for the St. Louis Cardinals, and they have had a win over the Angels, 7-6 yesterday. Here's Fox News.
Challenge to debate and a Trump acceptance. I'm Dave Anthony.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice.
A reference to the being a day off of the Trump criminal trial. He said he'd even do it on Wednesdays. President Biden proposing 2 debates with the former president, one in late June before they have their formal nominations, the other in September.
So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Now, former President Trump's reaction? Anywhere, anytime, any place. Telling Fox News Digital he's ready to go. The proposed dates are fine. Adding that the president, he calls Crooked Joe, is the worst debater he's ever faced and can't put 2 sentences together. Of course, they'd spar over who can do a better job on the economy. We just got an inflation update. Fox's Ginny Casola has it.
Prices are still going up, but increases slowed last month. The consumer price index rose 0.3% in April, weaker than the 0.4% increase that was forecast. For the year ending in April, the CPI is up 3.4%.
That's down 0.1% from the annual consumer price inflation back in March. And on Wall Street, the reaction is pretty positive. Dow futures up over 100 points. As more American weapons and ammo flow into Ukraine while Russian forces keep taking over more of the country, Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Kyiv announced another $2 billion worth of U.S. military financing for Ukraine. There's also more aid for Israel.
The White House has told Congress it plans to send about $700 million for tank ammunition, $500 million in tactical vehicles, and $60 million in mortar rounds. State Department sources have told Fox this is still under review and won't be delivered for many months to come.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. This after the Biden administration paused a shipment of bombs, fearing that Israel will use them against Hamas and Rafah, potentially killing Palestinian civilians. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Again, our top Fox News story. President Biden challenged former President Trump to 2 debates, one in June, the other in September, and the former president has accepted. Now, we mentioned this being an off day at the Trump trial. When it resumes tomorrow, Michael Cohen will be back on the witness stand. He's at the heart of the case. Trump reimbursements to Cohen for paying to keep an alleged affair quiet before the 2016 election led to the falsifying records charge in New York against the former president.
The prosecution's star witness has already admitted to telling several lies while on the stand. He testified about falsifying invoices to the Trump Organization to get reimbursed for his payment to Stormy Daniels by labeling it a $35,000 per month retainer fee. And he said he opened a bank account for a management consulting company, but he really used it to make hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. That lie led to federal charges against him back in 2018.
That's Fox's Brooks Singman. Also in New York, opening statements are expected today once a jury is finally seated at the senator's federal trial. Bob Menendez, a Democrat from New Jersey, facing 18 charges ranging from extortion to fraud to obstruction of justice to bribery, accused of accepting cash and gold and other bribes as favors to help foreign governments. In another high-profile case,
Hunter Biden's federal gun case will go to trial on June 3rd after a judge rejected a bid by his lawyers to move the trial back. The legal team for President Biden's son argued the additional time was needed to line up witnesses and go through evidence, but the judge disagreed. A 3-judge panel also decided a federal tax case against Hunter Biden in California can start on June 20th. Biden is accused of lying about his drug use when he bought a gun in 2018 and of not paying over $1 million in taxes between 2016 and 2019. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
in the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks blew out Indiana by 30 points to take a 3-2 series lead. Denver beat Minnesota to also go up 3-2. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 73% of Illinois Medicaid customers will remain eligible for coverage, Governor told reporters in Chicago. He's committed to keeping people on Medicaid after COVID-19 pandemic protections. Over the past year, roughly 3.8 million Illinoisans went through Medicaid care redetermination for the first time since March of 2020. It's graduation season, but for graduates of the Champaign County Drug Court, it's not about getting a diploma, it's about getting a new chance at life. The Champaign County Drug Program's been changing lives since the 90s. Champaign Circuit Court Judge Ben Dyers is guiding participants through the 2-year program. Participants go through different classes and see counselors daily to get the help they need. Just 1 week after a slight rise in gas prices at Champaign gas stations, the price of gas back where it was 2 weeks ago. A survey from Gas Buddy shows that in the week between April 30th and May 6th, the price of gas rose in Champaign by an average of 3.2 cents. In the week since, the price fell by 3.2 cents. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And we've got your weather forecast that's brought to you by the Urbana Park District. Lots of great things to come this summer. The pool opens on May 25th. The punch cards are the best value. The memberships for individuals and families. It's a great way to start your summer, so take note. May 25th. For details, urbanaparks.org. Good morning, Stevie.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm live from Tempe, Arizona. So yeah, it's going to be 97 in the sun. We're only here for about 12 more hours. And then we're flying back to Indianapolis, back on the radio tomorrow in Philo. So looking forward in this whirlwind Major League Baseball tour. Well, and I got to thinking, gosh, it's going to be 97, hard to watch. Well, they have an indoor stadium. I didn't know
Yeah, that's
that
right. Yeah, indoor ballpark there. Yeah.
It's really fun.
Was the air conditioning on and the roof closed up last night?
Yes, it certainly was. And it was just the stage. Grace had mentioned that it felt a little like a Miss America excitement for her because the electricity was high. I mean, they have the music blaring, the fans are going. It's really, really cool. They do a good job with the production of Major League Baseball, but comes down to it, it's pitching, catching, throwing, running.
And some defense.
Decent defense in there, but it's remarkable the level of play. You know, you're thinking, well, let's go out and play some baseball. These guys, it's kind of like golf when you have whatever iron, you want to do whatever you want, like a scalpel to a surgeon. These guys are so good at the sport now. Used to be you put down the basketball, pick up the baseball, put down the baseball, pick up the football. You got to specialize in sports and be on the travel teams by about age 4. And that's what these guys do. And they get really good at it. All right.
I think all that position really has to do with the players getting in tune with all the analytics that go on in baseball and various sports these days. So.
It's amazing. Every time a new player comes up, they have a card that tells them where to stand because they figured out the odds of them hitting it. They were playing, Jacob was playing in left center field last night. And with the right-handed hitter, you think if the guy hits it down the line, he'll run forever. They just don't, though. They've analyzed 1,000 different ways of how this guy hits, and he doesn't hit it there, so you don't stand there. It's just, it's a high-level deal, and there are just literally, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people it takes to put on one baseball game at one ballpark. It is, heck, they had an area where we were last night, and, you said, I can't let you in this area until we get word that you're supposed to be here. They had mirrors to look under your car in case you're carrying something nasty. I mean, it's just, a lot of stuff goes into a ball game. We just got to go in and get a $8 hot dog and away we go, and $9 beers, and but the infrastructure it takes, and we got to see a lot of behind the scenes last night here in in Phoenix.
Good.
All right, so what are you seeing in our weather forecast for this Wednesday, sir?
Well, in our general neck of the woods, 59 at Willard and Savoy, 57 at Rantoul. Got some foggy, misty, rainy conditions not too far east of I-57 towards Danville, and a little shower cluster that's brought some 1 to 3 inch rains kind of centered on the counties kind of surrounding the Indianapolis area and some of the fields there. So not the greatest of news with regard to field work in some Indiana sections of the Corn Belt. Meanwhile, back in your general neck of the woods, 74 now at Sky Harbor Airport out there in Phoenix. Back this way, a partly sunny day to evolve. We've got some clearing up towards the Kankakee, a couple of showers east towards Danville currently, so that'll be around for the next few hours, and maybe a shower east towards the Indiana line this afternoon. But our neck of the woods, some points west and northward, in good shape. 73 for today, down to 53 in a fog patch tonight, and another system in here brings a mid to late afternoon shower chance tomorrow up to 76, and a couple of showers may linger, maybe a thunderstorm between tomorrow night and Friday, with lows tomorrow night down low 60s, up to 75 on Friday, but warm, dry weather for the weekend with highs near 80 Saturday and Sunday, and a warm spell early next week. High temperatures low to mid 80s, but we're still chasing a couple of showers and thunderstorms late Monday and Tuesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Greg. We appreciate it. All right, I'm live. We're happy to be coming to you. 5 a.m. is when I actually got up at 4:45, but that's, Pacific time. And it was, of course, 6:45 back home. So we're just after the 6 o'clock hour here, but bright sunshine emitting here in the desert. It's beautiful in Tempe. So we drove from Phoenix to Tempe. Tempe is, I guess, home of, didn't Lucas Tay go to Tempe? Yeah. I think it was Arizona State University. I'm at the Omni Hotel here. Very nice. That's where the Reds are staying this time. And it's a high level. So I was talking a little as the show got started about an hour ago about just the intricacies of it all and getting kind of behind the scenes and being part of the Jacob Hurtaby's entourage. I mean, there's security, there are people handling stuff for us, there are people escorting us to our seats, there's people, it's just like, oh, this is pretty cool. You can kind of get used to this. It's really fun. Can we stay forever? It's really fun. But it's to make a major league debut, to have that chance. Jacob said the players have been so welcoming to him. But as part of the whole rookie thing, he's got to do stuff. Remember the talent show I told you about in spring training? Well, apparently when they fly on their charter, they go into L.A., and I don't know why they think it's over an hour drive from L.A. to their hotel, hour and a half, maybe because of traffic. But Jacob's been charged with being the entertainment.
Oh, boy.
And so, yeah, that's what he said. So it's a bus full of everybody. And so it's just what they put the rookies through and what you kind of have to do to earn your stripes a little bit. But no, it's Division I food, Division I hotels, Division I transportation, it's just number one, you make the show. Jacob's been through, the Class A, AA, AAA, bus rides, late nights, rainouts, injuries. I mean, that's the life. And if you think about it, oh man, think about the life of a major league player now. You're leaving in February. You come home, if you're lucky, you come home in October. Now, you don't come home. You don't, I'm going to take a weekend off. That's not part of this. It's not like, on sales I travel different. Think about that all the time. Now, granted, it's a 5-star deal now, but you're still away from home.
Yeah.
You're still not home. And if you have a family, pretty hard to travel with family. I saw a lot of women with their husbands, maybe some cases boyfriends, but 162 games. You'd wake up not sure where you were. Mm-hmm. So it's fantastic. But that life of, gosh, I'm going to miss that wedding, or I can't really get home for anything. It's just not what they do. So it's you're sacrificing the time. There's no doubt. But at this point and stage in your life, if you can be in your 20s and play in the big leagues, it's I take it. It'd be really, really fun for that while. Then you have the dynamic of older players still trying to hang on, and you're trying to take their job, kind of thing. And so the Cincinnati Reds are a very young team. A whole bunch of this team, Jacob knows from the minors. But so it's been a pretty easy transition, and he was not nervous when he got to the batter box last night. So he said the first time he faced, even a spring training, which was 3 years ago, he got to go to spring training for a few minutes, and his legs were shaking. But last night he stepped in and looked good. He looked really good, had a good at bat. He drove the ball really well. He said I got on top of it just a little, so it was a line drive that were both caught. But it just a little bit down, the thing would have gone forever. So it's a game of inches. You got guys making diving plays. They're great defensive players. It's the best of the best. And then to get to ride the family bus back, which essentially had a lot of the players on it as well. Just kind of cool. Just kind of cool to be kind of involved in that world for 24 hours and to get to see, he's well taken care of. And I think Jacob thought they'd do that, because it's probably better for the players, to be well fed, to be well traveled, to be, travel in the best way. So there's, not waiting, those kinds of things, and get plenty of rest, because they report to the ballpark today, I think at 9:45. So he got to bed maybe at midnight last night. So if he gets, a good 8 or 9 hours, they're in pretty good shape. And then, of course, these guys are such athletic machines that they know when to eat, what to eat, what their routine is during the season, exercise, and all the things they're supposed to do. They got the weight trainer with them, got the medical staff with them. They just got all the resources. And then, Diane, after the ball game last night, there's a guy out with a vacuum cleaner on the grass.
Wow.
Because they can't have any sunflower seeds out there from the game, right? So you got to clean. No, and their guys, there's sunflower seeds on the dirt part. When you go to the dugout, it's dirt. They got a shovel. They're picking everything up. They're smoothing it out for the next day. And then they get these big old chains and screens and they drag it. It's just a powdery, perfect. If anybody's ever played any baseball anywhere, we have rocks on the infield about everywhere. It's very unusual not to. You get to college level, it gets a lot better. But it's just an amazing level of play that very, very few get to do. So when somebody gets a chance to get the call to go to Major League Baseball, and you're tied to them, you don't have to make a decision. You just kind of know, should I go, should I not go? There was never a doubt I'm coming to Phoenix, because it's that kind of a moment in someone's life that is so special, and it's a lifetime goal. And so to say, I played in the big leagues, Jacob can say that for the rest of his life. How long does he play? Nobody knows. Could be not long, could be long time. He looked like he belonged to me. It's just, it's a game of inches, so to speak. And it's just ball drops here and there. He's got great speed. Maybe he'll get a chance to get up there. If he lays down a bunt, he can beat him out. So there's just all kinds of things he can do with a baseball bat and a glove. So it's been fun to be part of it. But again, we'll go to the ball game today. It's a 12:40 here Pacific time start, which is 2:40 back home. Same schedule the Cardinals have been on, because they're West Coast.
It's
all right. We'll check some sports headlines.
And Cincinnati over Arizona 6-2. Andrew Abbott will be on the mound when you take in that game, Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they'll travel to L.A. to take on the Dodgers with a 9-10 start for us on Thursday. But you won't be able to see that, right?
I will be able to see that in my house.
Okay.
Because to travel around, Janet's coming home with me too. She came out with Grace with Jacob, whatever day it was. This is Wednesday, so Monday he got out here. And so she's going to come home too, and Christian as well. So we'll get home late in the wee hours of the morning. So it'll be a short night for us to be back in the studio tomorrow. But nope, we got it. But the Cardinals have won 3 straight. That's good news.
It's true. And they'll be going for a sweep with Lance Lynn on the mound. That's an 8:07 start for us here on ESPN 93.5. Cardinals over the Angels 7-6 yesterday. Not so much for our Cubbies. Atlanta over the Cubs 7-0. Javier Assad will be on the mound with a 6:20 start as they wrap up that series. And you'll hear the action over on US 105.9. And we had a double yesterday with Washington over the Chicago White Sox 6-3. And the Chicago White Sox beating Washington 4-0. So they split yesterday, making up for that postponement earlier on in the week when they had inclement weather in Chicago's south side. So it's a 1-10 start, in case you're a White Sox fan. We also want to talk about Illinois men's golf. 1-shot lead going into today's finale, with Stanford hosting at 10 under 270. It looks like they'll tee off at 10 a.m. with Florida State and Texas A&M as they're paired up with them. And, of course, the goal is trying to get into that NCAA championship round. And congratulations on their postseason play. We had Connecticut Sun over the Indiana Fever, 92-71 in the WNBA. Caitlin had a team high of 20 points, but committed 10 turnovers, the most in the career debut WNBA history. All right, we've got our forecast to get to here on ESPN 93.5 from our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Van vicinity. Some patchy fog and a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line in particular. They may redevelop there later on this afternoon, but a good part of the day and area, especially I-57 corridor on westward, will be partly sunny and dry with high temperature up near 73. Bit of a gusty north-northeasterly wind in open areas. Tonight, a few clouds, some patchy fog late. Lighter northeast wind sets in, a low down to 53. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on, increasing clouds. Next weather system back in with a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. Highs up to about 76. Couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 62. And a couple of more scattered showers both morning and afternoon. Maybe a thunderstorm on Friday. Highs up to 75. But warm, dry weather ahead for the weekend with high temperatures either side of the 80-degree mark. Back into a shower thunderstorm chance late Monday into Tuesday. High temperatures there into the low and mid-80s. Humidity will climb a bit. Then still warm but drier weather. Low humidity next Wednesday and Thursday. Daytime temperatures close to 80. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Prices are still going up, but increases slowed last month. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.3% in April, weaker than the 0.4% increase that was forecast. The other readings matched expectations and mostly show a slight improvement from March. For the year ending in April, the CPI is up 3.4%. Core inflation rose 3.6% on an annual basis. Also, consumers pulled back on spending in April. Retail sales were flat compared with March, though up 3% from a year ago. Red Lobster could be filing for bankruptcy as early as next week after closing dozens of restaurants. It still has hundreds of locations. The Wall Street Journal says Red Lobster plans to stay operating while reducing debt. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Cosella. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
We're talking to Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, and we're talking about the current market.
So online presence, it's pretty nice to have this get home value right there on that page. Talk about going to nateevansgroup.com.
Yeah, so we added a simple tool to our website. It's right on the front page. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that it was an AI-generated value. I don't just magically pop this out. It's kind of like your Zestimate, but it's fun for people to put their home in there, add some of the things that they've done to it, and then our tool will approximate a range of what they feel like their home is most likely worth. It's usually pretty accurate if your home's in similar condition to the homes that it's comparing it to.
So call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans with eXp Realty, 217-239-7113, or do an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
Get the
the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
ESPN 93.5. Good morning. I am Stevie Jay. We're broadcasting this morning from Tempe, Arizona, outside Phoenix, where the Arizona Diamondbacks will play the Cincinnati Reds today at 12:40. My son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, has a chance to be on the big league club, the Cincinnati Reds. So I've been wearing Cincinnati Reds gear, and they're playing Cincinnati next week. Again, he came up because a center fielder named T.J. Friedel broke his thumb. And so Jacob was recalled from AAA and is now a Major League Baseball player. And again, in this life, you don't know how long that's going to be, or if it's temporary, or if he has a chance to stay up here and play in the big leagues for a while. So it's a very whirlwind, exciting moment, and we're so happy for Jacob. He's worked very hard for it. And to get to this spot, again, it's not very many kids get to do that. Many dream of it, but very few get it. And he's handling it beautifully, and he's very appreciative and knows that he's very blessed to get this opportunity. So Grace is excited. She's been working too out here remotely with her work, so she's been still with her laptop and an internet. It's amazing what so many Americans now can do. They can work remotely, and that's a good thing, but it's sure changed the value. You know that I think I mentioned this on the radio. A building in Fort Worth, Texas, the tallest building in Fort Worth, Texas, sold for $121 million in 2021, right? And COVID and everything else. And then people said, wait a minute, I don't want to go into work. I'd rather work at home with my pajamas on. So in an auction held last week in Fort Worth, Texas, the $121 million building sold for how much, Diane?
$70 million.
$12 million.
Oh my goodness!
It's the tallest building in Fort Worth, and the bank had an auction, $12.3 million. You could own the tallest building in Fort Worth, Texas. Wow. Now, finding somebody to lease it could be the reason, because it's an awfully tall building that would be empty most of the time, the way it sounds. So anyway, it's been so fun to kind of get under the kind of the stadium kind of tour of, the carts and the things that the people do for the players and family of Major League Baseball players, and they really take care of us. There's no question about it. We had people coming to us several times during the game and tell us what was going to happen after the game and where we should be, and just stay here, we'll come get you. I mean, it's just like, dang, it's pretty cool. And then Jim Day from Valley Sports was there, and he looked at me and said, "Are you Jacob's dad?" I said, "No, I'm his father-in-law." I said, "There's his dad, there's his mom, there's his wife." So they were all on the TV last night being interviewed during the game.
Nice.
And they're talking to Francois, is Jacob's father's name. He's Canadian, and he came to Indiana University to play golf back in the early 80s. And so he's an athlete. And then Lisa is his wife, great woman. And they were both on the TV talking about Jacob and the 20 years they've been playing Little League Baseball and going through the whole West Point and Jacob does officially become the first position player, second player of all time to come from West Point, where Army, of course, is. And he's kind of a representative of West Point on and off the field, and he loves that role. But yes, no other in the history of baseball has there ever been a left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, and outfielder, a position player that has gotten to play that came from West Point.
Well, those of us that were watching on TV, I don't know if you heard that clip that I sent you.
I haven't yet.
That the announcers were saying that. Maybe inside the next 10 minutes or so, I can try to put it up to the mic and air that minute clip of when he came up to bat for the first time.
Yeah, that's. See, he knew that, and he remembers watching. I think his name was Chris Raleigh, pitched in 8 games in 2017-18, and they were at West Point at the time, and he was, they were all buying his jersey, and they were all so excited. So imagine the impact Jacob's having on the current military academy student that's thinking, I can do this too. And so it's also good for West Point. Jacob talks so highly of it. He thinks it's really helped him in his preparation for professional baseball. Just the discipline and the patience needed and the effort and the grind it out and never give up and all those attributes we all need more of. So he's very, very high on West Point, and I think it's brought them a lot of well-deserved attention, because if you get through West Point 4 years, first of all, you go for free. You serve your country after that. But it's just an opportunity for him to maybe serve in a little different way, being a spokesperson and for the wonders and the greatness of West Point. So it's kind of cool to kind of have that story. And again, at this level, as you would expect, there's just a lot of guys that have gone through exactly what Jacob's gone through. It's a long grind. Baseball, I mean, NBA, first round draft pick, he'll play next year. The NFL, he'll start a quarterback for the Bears next year. He's 23. Baseball, we gave you $15 million, but you're going to start in low class A baseball, because it is a process that you can't skip, because it is such a refinement of skills that are baseball players. You got to be able to do it all in the best fashion to be able to fit in. And then you got to be smart. You can't make bad plays. You have to think through things. It is just difficult. It's a longer process for anybody that's, again, Ellie De La Cruz, who's one of their stars here. He's 21. He's kind of a rarity that you can be very talented at that age. And then what they do in baseball is they'll analyze all the analytics, as we've touched on last hour, Diane. They'll analyze every video at bat you ever had, and they'll say he can't hit low inside on the corner. So they'll throw low inside on the corner, because that's what the big leaguers can do. They can put it on a bottle cap. They're so good at where they place it, and they make a mistake, and the ball's 3 inches where they wanted it, and the guy hit a home run. I mean, that's a mistake. It's just, think about 60 feet 6 inches and throwing a baseball 98 miles an hour.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear more, because we've got the Fox News coming right up.
March, though up 3% from a year ago. Red Lobster could
I'll
be
even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Referring to the criminal trial in New York that's off on Wednesdays, former President Trump tells Fox News Digital the proposed June and early September dates are fully acceptable. Let's see if Joe can make it to the stand-up podium. In Maryland, Democrats nominate Prince George's County Executive Angela Also Brooks for Senate to oppose former Governor Larry Hogan.
With your help, we're going to bring our case for strong, proven, effective, and independent leadership directly to the people of Maryland.
West Virginia Democrats nominate Wheeling Mayor Glenn Elliott to face Governor Jim Justice for Senate there. Democrats Ben Cardin and Joe Manchin are retiring, and Republicans are trying to flip those seats and take back Senate control. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. It's graduation season, but for graduates of the Champaign County Drug Court, it's not about getting a diploma, it's about getting a new chance at life. The Champaign County Drug Program's been changing lives since the 90s. Champaign Circuit Court Judge Ben Dyers is guiding participants through the 2-year program. Participants go through different classes and see counselors daily to get the help they need. Just 1 week after a slight rise in gas prices at Champaign gas stations, the price of gas back where it was 2 weeks ago. A survey from Gas Buddy shows that in the week between April 30th and May 6th, the price of gas rose in Champaign by an average of 3.2 cents. In the week since, the price fell by 3.2 cents. 73% of Illinois Medicaid customers will remain eligible for coverage, Governor told reporters in Chicago. He's committed to keeping people on Medicaid after COVID-19 pandemic protections. Over the past year, roughly 3.8 million Illinoisans went through Medicaid care redetermination for the first time since March of 2020. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Kurt Lenschow bringing on our forecast from our meteorologist Greg Solier here on ESPN 93.5 at 8:33.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Some patchy fog and a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line in particular. They may redevelop there later on this afternoon, but a good part of the day and area, especially I-57 corridor on westward, will be partly sunny and dry with high temperature up near 73. Bit of a gusty northeasterly wind in open areas. Tonight, a few clouds, some patchy fog late. Lighter northeast wind sets in, a low down to 53. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on, increasing clouds. Next weather system back in with a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. Highs up to about 76. Couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 62. And a couple of more scattered showers both morning and afternoon. Maybe a thunderstorm on Friday. Highs up to 75. But warm, dry weather ahead for the weekend with high temperatures either side of the 80-degree mark. Back into a shower thunderstorm chance late Monday into Tuesday. High temperatures there into the low and mid 80s. Humidity will climb a bit. Then still warm but drier weather. Low humidity next Wednesday and Thursday. Daytime temperatures close to 80. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beat Ultras, Greg Soldgay.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Sticky nights and stuffy rooms making it hard to enjoy your home during the summertime? Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to make sure your air conditioning is working at its peak performance. Tune up your AC by joining the maintenance program and get all the perks it has to offer. Call Dogtown to come out for a no-cost quote to upgrade your system today with a Lennox high-efficiency system that will be sure to save you money on your energy bills and let you relax comfortably. Call 217-841-4728 or visit dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
From Tempe, Arizona, outside Phoenix. It's about a 15-minute drive from the stadium to where we are here. Chase Field is what they call it. I'm looking at a Chase Bank, and then I'm looking at, looks like Chase headquarters. I mean, it is a massive 2-block Chase office buildings, I presume. Must be their headquarters here. So anyway, we're here just a little bit, and then I'll fly back tonight and be back in the studio tomorrow with you for John Decker. He was at the Kamala Harris thing where she said the F word, and I don't know why. I understand the culture's kind of coarse and rough and all these other things, but I just don't think what you do when your door's closed, I guess, in the office, it's your business, but to just come out and say what the vice president said, I found very non-distinguished, so to speak. She said, you know, some days they'll open the door for you, and other days you got to kick the effing door in. And I'm saying, why? Well, what's the point of that? Are you going to get a whole bunch of votes because of that? Why? And first of all, if somebody shuts the door, you got to kick the effing door in. Okay, well, that makes more sense. And some days they'll open the door for you, and others you got to kick it in. I don't know. And then she laughs, and it's going, wow, kid, I don't know. Don't like it. It's silly, I know, but I don't... I guess I'm not a fan of the coarse nature of our society, perhaps, but we got a lot of that. The Republican convention's coming up in July. That's going to be in Milwaukee. The Democratic convention, they take turns on who goes first. That'll be in Chicago in August. I think it's middle to late August. So you'll have football and everything else. You know, it's funny. We talk politics a lot and talk about the world situation and all the situations. You know, and walking around 2 days, going to the airports and baseball games, nobody's talking about it.
Yep, that's right.
It is like, I think they just want to be able to make money. They want to be able to provide for their families. You know, if you get down to it, how many people are happy with how much they spend at the grocery store? That would be zero. So if you want to be successful in politics, make sure they don't go crazy with the prices and inflation and things like that. And inflation happens when you spend too much money. And, you know, we were $4 trillion in debt when George W. Bush was president, and Barack Obama called that irresponsible. And now we're $30-some trillion in debt. And to think we're going to grow out of that, I don't know. But anyway, so stuff costs more because money's worth less, all these other things. And so we're spending, the bottom line is, I see gas is $4 here in Phoenix. I'm going, why is it more here in Phoenix? I don't know. I truck it in. whatever. That's just, and Arizona is a Donald Trump state right now by 10 points in the polling. So people are unhappy, and I think largely because of how much stuff costs. And when that hits you every day and you're faced with struggling with the credit cards that are capped out at 30%, it's rough, and people get mad, and sometimes the person in office, regardless of who it is, whatever party it is, that's just kind of, the blame goes to the coach, right? If you're the leader and stuff happens and things aren't going well, you're going to get the blame. So anyhow, so that's part of our picture every single day with the election coming up at 50-some days. Ed Martin was on with us last hour with Johnny, as always, from Phyllis Schlafly, the Eagle Forum, and said he's got an announcement to make next week. He'll be at the convention in Milwaukee, and I think he might have a bigger role than I know.
We did get a text during the conversation, and it talked about how Ben Carson might be a little too old for a VP pick.
Well, 72 these days, that's young.
Okay.
If you look at Mick Jagger, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump, you're all about 70. Right. Donald Trump's 78?
77 now, I think.
Joe Biden's going to be 82, be 86 when he left. I mean, I think it's 72. That used to be pretty old. Ronald Reagan, I think at the time in the 1980s, was the oldest guy, and I think he finished his final presidency years when he was 76, 77. But no, it's 80's the new 70, I guess. But Ben Carson wouldn't probably be a guy you think is going to carry on for 8 years after that. That's for sure. But in the contrast, if anybody knows anything about Ben Carson, holy cow, grew up in the projects in Detroit. Their mom just was an amazing woman that made the boys read. He became one of the foremost physicians on earth, being able to figure out how to take Siamese twins joined at the head, and both survived. I mean, the guy's brilliant, and he's a good human being. I mean, he ran for president, and then he was head of the Housing and Urban Development. He was a secretary of HUD, I believe. But he's a good man. He's been vetted. There's just nothing really bad to say about Dr. Ben Carson. And I think we'd all feel pretty comfortable saying, well, what happened to Donald Trump? Well, we have Ben Carson. He's a good man who's a leader. He's been around a long time, and I'd feel 100% comfortable with Ben Carson as my president. I know that. So we'll see. It's going to be a lot of stuff here in the next. And now these days, Diane, you can bet on the presidency. You can go to the window and bet on who do you think's going to win. It's like, yikes, man. We're betting on everything these days, aren't we? It's crazy.
Well, and so also on our Tapman's Towing phone line at 359-2255, we heard from Carolyn, and lots of congratulations coming in for the whole family on Jacob Hurtubise getting called up to the show.
Well, and Jacob really appreciates everything, and he's, as you can imagine, his cell phone. I think he has 337 texts that he hasn't seen yet. So, and that's just everywhere in the world. He loves it. He appreciates it so much. And, you get a little picture of the guys that get to this level. They got to take care of the tickets, and they got to make sure you get where you're going, this and that. And so they're thinking about family coming in. I mean, it's great, but there is, he's got to focus a little on that baseball too.
That's right.
But every athlete that makes the big time, has the same thing, demands for tickets, they need this, they need that. So he hasn't really addressed the texts at this point. He's just really focused on the routine of the day and what he's supposed to do. But they'll go to LA for 4 nights and then come right back to Cincinnati next week. We're obviously going to try and go, because you don't know, is Jacob going to be up here a while? He might not. It's just how the game is. It's like, well, where's my job security? What job security? Well, you're making a lot of money. Well, for how long? But every association we've had with Cincinnati Reds have been very, very good.
Well, I know on his first at bat, fly out to center field, they showed the whole family on TV for a brief moment, and I sent you the clip, and I do want to try to air that if we could. I'm going to put it up to the microphone and see if it works out. So hang on just a second.
All right, I can.
That brings up one of the great stories in the game. Jacob Hurtubise, the second ever Army West Point graduate to make Major League Baseball. When he arrived at Army, he weighed 150 pounds. Speed was his game. while he was there, he rewrote the Army record books. Caught the eye of pro scouts, was drafted by Seattle, did not sign, went back for the truncated 20 COVID season, and had a fantastic 2023. And what he really started at, Cowboy, he's a capable defender, he's a strong base runner, he's got a great eye. His on base was almost 480 between AA and AAA. That's amazing.
Pitcher just threw to first.
Yeah.
And we'll learn more from Jim Day, who is up there with his family. We'll hear from the family as well over the course of the game, but I mean, what a kind, fantastic young man who is still going to serve his country. You know, he said himself that he's a trailblazer. He is the first Major League Baseball player under the change in legislation that allows him to defer his service. Fouled away.
Oh, shoot. I bet you guys, when you were watching the foul off, are like, man, he almost got it.
Yeah, no, it was exciting.
Jacob is to slow that heart rate down a little bit and just play some baseball. Easier said than done, I can assure you. Consider he only had 29 at-bats in the minors, battling a shoulder strain. Fights that foul, so in some ways he was rehabbing when he got the call. It's almost like spring training all over again. Very similar situation to the man he's often compared to. That's TJ Friedel. Those two were immediately connected in the dugout when he arrived during the game yesterday.
Okay.
Center, Carroll.
Center field.
He hit it well. He had as good at bat, 7 pitches. It was really good at bat. He said he wasn't nervous. He was very, very comfortable up there, which is great to hear. But again, this is his 4th year in professional baseball, and he's gone through the process. And I was talking about all the intricacies of the game and all they know and how they can, what happens to these great players even, they figure out a weakness and the pitchers just pound it until you adjust and hit it back. And then they try and figure something else out. But it's so analytical. But no, he's obviously enjoying the moment, and that's what everybody told him, just enjoy the moment. And he is. So it's fun, and so happy Grace can be with him and follow him into L.A. and then back to Cincinnati next week. So we'll probably run over to Cincinnati again, try and catch another game or two. But the Reds take care of the family. I can attest to that. It's very, very, very nice. Our seats were wonderful, and they were part of the Jacob Hurtubise family, and so we didn't have to buy tickets, which is wonderful.
Great.
So, very cool. All right, let's take a break. We'll do another sports headlines and weather before we leave you. ESPN 93.5. It is a beautiful morning in Arizona with blue skies. If you've never been to Arizona, it's going to be 97 here today. But it's just heat, not the humidity. It's hot. It's hot. Anyway, we'll be right back. ESPN 93.5.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Coming Saturday, June 22nd, it's the Cardinal Bus Trip, brought to you by Route 66 Solar. Yes, join us for a beautiful day in St. Louis as we take on the San Francisco Giants. For information about our suite and all the beverages and food that are included, and a wonderful motor coach from Timmy Tours, simply text in BUS to 217-359-2255. Join us Saturday, June 22nd for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip from ESPN 93.5. Every month we celebrate law enforcement at Stevie Jay Broadcasting. Officer Sarah Links is our law enforcement official of the month from the Urbana Police Department. They say you're a star. Congratulations.
Ooh. Oh, thank you. I don't know about being a star, but I appreciate that.
Well, you've done this work for a number of years in your patrol.
I have. I've been with Urbana for 18, and I've been doing this a total of 22 years.
What drew you to law enforcement?
Right. I always joke and tell people I never wanted to pick out my outfit every day, but actually, I just wanted to help people, and I like to problem solve, and I get a different problem every day to solve.
It's never the same.
It is never the same.
Keep up your great work. We certainly appreciate the vast majority appreciate what police do.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your support, because we do greatly appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you. Officer Sarah Links, our law enforcement official of the month, brought to you by MX Electric.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, ESPN 93.5, quick checks sports headlines, Diane.
Thank you, Stevie. Cardinals win 7-6. Here's your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night, the Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead for Sonny Gray, only to have the Angels fight back to tie it up. And Alec Burleson hit a 2-run homer. That stood up as the Cardinals beat the Angels 7-6 to win their third straight game.
A huge hit early on for Pedro Pajes, who caught the game, and it was his first major league hit. He drove in 3 runs with it, and that gave the Cardinals an early lead. The Angels fought back, but the Cardinals were able to finish them off. Ryan Helsley picked up save number 13.
Jojo Romero was faced with a bases-loaded situation and 1 out, and Luis Guillorme missed on a suicide squeeze, only to have the runner breaking to the plate tagged out.
Second time during the homestand for the Angels that a squeeze play did not work and cost them, and that was a big play in the game. That came in the 8th.
The Cardinals go for the sweep tonight behind Lance Lynn. He's 1-1. Griffin Canning, a right-hander, is 1-4. On the air at 7:10 Central. Ricky has the lineups at 7:55. I'll have the first pitch around 7:08 Central Time.
And Atlanta beat the Cubs 7-0 yesterday. It's a 6:20 start over on US 105.9. And the Chicago White Sox split with Washington yesterday. 6-3 with Washington on top. Chicago White Sox beat Washington 4-0. They have a 1:10 start today. In the WNBA, Connecticut beat Indiana's Fever 92-71. Caitlin led the team with 20 points, but committed 10 turnovers, the most in a career debut in WNBA history. Got Greg's forecast coming up next here on ESPN 93.5. It's 8:51, outside 60.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Last little spoke of energy rotating around this Ohio Valley low, generating a couple of showers along the Illinois-Indiana line and points eastward. That'll be the story for this morning and perhaps again this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny, good majority of the day, and area will be dry. Highs up to about 73 with a gusty north-northeasterly wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, patchy fog late, down to 53. Light northeast wind. Tomorrow, some patchy fog early on. Increasing clouds and a shower chance in the mid to late afternoon. Highs at 76. Couple of showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow night with a low down to 62. Variably cloudy skies for the day on Friday with again a couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon up to 75. Dry weather for the weekend, highs near 80. Back into again a scattering of shower and thunderstorm activity between later Monday and Tuesday. Dry next Wednesday and a warm spell of weather ahead into the early to middle parts of next week. Daytime temperatures into the lower and middle 80s. Overnight readings will bottom out into the 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
ESPN 93.5, winding up the program live from Phoenix, Arizona. Technically Tempe, home of Arizona State. Again, we'll go to another Major League Baseball game about noon today. come home on the Southwest Airlines Indianapolis, get home a little after midnight, and drive home, and back with you tomorrow morning. I guess whirlwind's a good word for last few days in our family, but an exciting, positive, wonderful experience. Really, really fun. So we'll continue to watch. You can track Jacob Hurtubise, Hurtubise. That's Grace's husband. And it was fun. Thanks for playing that clip. I'll tell Jacob if I see him before he leaves for the ball game how nice those guys were. He traveled around. He called him Cowboy. That's pitcher Jeff Brantley, who played in the big leagues for years. He's the color commentary now for the Cincinnati Reds radio broadcast. But he traveled with Jacob in the caravan, the Cincinnati Reds caravan. And, they all got to know him. And, if you've met Jacob, he's just a really good guy. He's really good. Great teammate, great guy, and just a lot of fun. So just say a quick hi. Grace is going to just say hi. Hey, she's walking by.
Hi.
She's jumping on the radio. I only got 30 seconds left. How fun was that last night?
It was absolutely surreal. I mean, watching him earn this the last 3.5 years in the minor leagues. He's not afraid of the grind, and he's proven that, and pretty amazing.
And this whole life in MLB is kind of amazing.
Oh my gosh, it is so wild. The wives, getting to know them and their perspective of things, it's like, this is absolutely wild. Like, this isn't a nice hotel. Are you kidding? It's like the nicest I've ever stayed in.
Pretty cool. Hey, go to work. Love you. You're doing great.
Oh, I love you. Thanks so much for being here. So special.
It's so fun. All right, Diane, we'll sign off. But I appreciate everything, but it's been really, really fun. There's no question. But Gracie's got a laptop going to work. It's coming up on 7 o'clock on the West Coast, and sun is shining. There's a lot of people out now, and away we go for another beautiful day, Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. John Decker highlights your program as he does on Thursdays. Lots to catch up on. He went to the Mick Jagger concert last weekend with his wife, Caroline, so we get to talk about that experience in Las Vegas. Diane, great job this morning. I'll be back in the morning live in Philo, but thank you for your help, and we'll be back.
Enjoy the day. ESPN 93.5 at 8:55.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we Recycling.
The Alma Market is your one-stop shop for one-of-a-kind creations from the University of Illinois alumni and students, as well as unique finds from some of your favorite Urbana-Champaign area businesses. Treat yourself or a loved one and support your fellow Illini today. If you're a University of Illinois student, alum, or Champaign-Urbana area business, feature your products on the Alma Market. Becoming a vendor is a great way to expand your reach and connect with Illini across the country. For more details, visit almamarket.org. Go Illini!
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie Jay Travel with Larry and Elena Kemper. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail toward the captivating Dalmatian Islands. Over 10 magnificent days, immerse yourself in the Mediterranean lifestyle where every moment is a celebration of beauty and tranquility. Explore hidden coves, swim in crystal clear waters, and stroll through seaside villages. With Stevie Jay Travel, every detail is taken care of, from luxurious accommodations to delectable onboard dining experiences. Relax on deck as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. This is more than a cruise. It's a journey of discovery and delight. Escape to paradise with Stevie Jay Travel. Visit StevieJayTravel.com. That's StevieJayTravel.com for details. Your Mediterranean adventure awaits.
Thank you for choosing 2 Men in a Truck. How may I help you?
Hey, we're moving, and I have a strange situation here. We need to be out of our house by 10 a.m., but our closing on the new house isn't until 1 p.m. Is that something you guys do?
That's not strange at all. 2 Men in a Truck has completed over 9 million moves. We have a solution for that.
Not sure how your move is going to work? Go to 2meninatruck.com to start your free estimate. 2meninatruck.com.
WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's